Thank you for joining us on Business Now. I am Frank Komalape. And now the Central Bank of Nigeria has said it recovered about 471 billion naira cumulative repayment for the bank's intervention programs in the first half of 2022. According to the APS Bank's half-year report for 2022, the recovery rate rose by 67.3% from 282.3 billion naira in the preceding half of 2021. The bank issued credit facilities as part of its development finance interventions in the critical sectors of the economy to improve access to credit, ensure price stability, and support job creation and economic recovery. However, repayment by beneficiaries had been a difficult task, forcing the bank to take extra measures. On its beneficiaries, the report stated that a total of 240 projects, including on state-based projects, and 95,091 individuals and businesses benefited from 17 intervention programs by the bank in the review period. And in the meantime, the Central Bank of Nigeria has announced a new rule to investors seeking to acquire up to 5% stake of any bank in the country. The regulation is contained in a new corporate governance guidelines for commercial, merchant, non-interest and payment service banks released by the APS Bank. Reacting to this development earlier today on iBrandTV's flagship business program, a former chairman of the Lagos State chapter of the Chartered Institute of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Bolade Agbola, noted that the new regulations attempt to address recent events in the capital market affecting some commercial banks.
The approval is also necessary because of the fact that the CBN wants to know the source of funding, because the major challenge Nigerian banks have is actually to segregate between genuine money and laundered money. So in the process of changing ownership, I think it's also within the regulatory purview of central bank to be able to know the character behind and, of course, what is the source of their income and how they are able to raise the capital to become a major shareholder entitled to vote in the bank. Please, let us don't mix it up with the fact that if you are acquiring 1%, 0.00%, the CBN is not interested. It's also interested in the quality of management you are bringing into the organization. So because once you have about 5% and above, you can dominate the board, and dominating the board means you use all the executives and you determine the running and day-to-day management of the organization.
And now the federal government has said that there are over 9,000 licensed filling stations across the country that are fit for the co-location of facilities that dispense autogas fuel. It disclosed this in a communique issued by the Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology at the end of the Stakeholders Engagement Forum on the provision of the technical manpower and facility for the development and promotion of autogas as transportation fuel in Nigeria. The conference, with the theme "Autogas as an Alternative Fuel for Transportation in Nigeria," showed that there was a need for alternative options for transportation fuels. Such fuels include liquefied natural gas, liquefied petroleum gas, and compressed natural gas known as autogas, which should become widely used and accepted as an alternative automotive fuel. The communique stated that Nigeria gas reserves were about 209 trillion cubic feet, adding that gas production was between 8.15 to 8.35 billion standard cubic feet per day, which was more than enough for the nation. And in the meantime, stakeholders in the oil and gas sector have urged the federal government to clarify its plans for gas development and resolve the risk that undermine Nigeria's economy and energy transition. In a document put together by the Natural Resource Governance Institute on the demands of stakeholders and civil society organizations on the issue, they said President Bola Tinubu had vowed to accelerate the implementation of the Nigeria Gas Master Plan. The stakeholders noted that the president also vowed to fully develop and modernize Nigeria's regulatory framework for natural gas production. The coalition said that although looking more to gas for foreign exchange or domestic energy could address short-term energy and development needs. Betting big on gas in the long term carried huge risk, he said. The manufacturers lament exclusion from World Bank-funded 1.2 million meters. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has expressed concern over impending displacement of local meter manufacturers and assemblers in the downstream of the power sector. This is in connection with the process of the government implementation of the NMMP Phase 2 World Bank funded supply of 1.2 million smart meters. A statement by the association said the advertised financial requirement and the technical specifications by the Transmission Company of Nigeria appear to be tilted against local manufacturers. The association further stated that the seeming intentional denials of the local manufacturers did not take into consideration the sterling performance of the budding local manufacturing sector. And now there are strong indications the federal government may consider the request by power distribution companies for a review of their tariff, as the government spending on electricity subsidy has risen to 2.8 trillion naira. A new report by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission issued in Abuja on Sunday indicated that past hikes in electricity tariffs by DISCOs saved the government from paying additional 1 trillion naira in subsidy to power firms annually. The July 2023 NEC report was titled Overview of the Nigeria Electricity Supply Industry, providing an update on the country's tariff review journey. The Commission stated that between January 2020 and January 2023, tariff increased from about 55% of cost recovery to 94%. And now the Oodua People's Congress has urged President Bola Tinubu to stop the planned increase in electricity tariff by distribution companies in the country. It says to have been proposed to take effect from July 1. The OPC, in a statement by its General Secretary Bumi Fashehu, described the move as anti-people, oppressive, unjustified, and aimed at discrediting the new government being led by the president. OPC President Otumba Wasiu Afolabi noted that the move had similarly been rejected by the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, stressing that Nigerians were still grappling with the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy. Afolabi said increasing the electricity tariff will be adding to citizens' burden and paint the Tinubu administration as uncaring. The OPC president said the DISCOs should supply prepaid meters free of charge to their customers, alleging that they have refused to do so because they enjoy sending crazy bills to customers who suffer darkness and power failure all the time. And now the World Bank has attributed the frequent building collapse in Lagos State to gaps and loopholes in the permitting process and the use of unqualified professionals in the design and construction of buildings. It also listed the absence of a legally adopted building design code, limited land available for development, and lack of systems to ensure the quality of construction materials, as well as other reasons buildings cave in regularly in the state. The bank revealed these in a report on housing regulatory framework standards in sub-Saharan Africa. According to the bank, only about 10% of construction sites obtain permits, and even when permits are obtained, final construction can still deviate from their requirement. A report by the Lagos State branch of the Building Collapse Prevention Guild early this year revealed that 115 incidents of building collapse occurred in the capital city in the last 10 years.